Miss Montoya and her son, Gregory Sensabaugh, waste no time accusing Ms. Brown of telling multiple lies about who fathered her daughter. Gregory looks ready to burst when Ms. Brown openly admits she has lied before. This isn't just courtroom drama, it's generational drama, with a mother stepping in to defend her son at every turn. Can you feel the tension already?
Ms. Brown, you admit to lying about the paternity of your daughter to both plaintiffs.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say you realize they no longer believe anything you say, and you're hoping today's result.
When Judge Lauren digs into how the relationship ended, Ms. Brown claims she left Gregory because he was too attached to his mom. Gregory snaps back, clearly insulted. But the kicker? She says they were supposed to move in together. She even had an apartment ready to sign for, and he just ghosted her on signing day. Talk about a plot twist before the baby was even in the picture.
I didn't lay with her, I laid with him. It ended when we were supposed to, we had a conversation and he had said that he was ready to man up and move in together.
Gregory fires back with accusations that Ms. Brown was still talking to her ex at the time. Meanwhile, Miss Montoya is having none of the side drama. She jumps in to remind everyone the main issue is the lies and the lack of closure about the child. This back and forth feels like a family feud colliding with a soap opera.
After I left California?
No, you
called
didn't.
me 3 days that I made it into Oklahoma.
No, you
contacted me.
No, you didn't.
And you said, where are you and what you...
Then comes the infamous calendar evidence. Miss Brown admits she was intimate with both Gregory and her ex during the same time frame. She's literally color-coded the days in green and blue to show who was involved when. Even Judge Lauren seems momentarily stunned at the level of detail here. Talk about organized chaos.
I just want to get to the bottom of this and see what it is, because there was no closure.
So, Ms. Brown, at some point you almost end up with another guy.
But Miss Montoya catches an inconsistency. She says, Miss. Brown once told her she flew to Oklahoma, got off the plane, and started throwing up, implying morning sickness. Now Miss. Brown swears she never said that. Watching these two debate the logistics of a trip while implying hidden motives? Priceless courtroom drama.
Both men on a calendar, okay? In green are the days you were intimate with Mr. Sensabaugh.
Yes, ma'am.
In red is outlined the dates you were traveling, and then in blue...
The emotional stakes rise when Gregory describes being shot 6 times. In the head, arm, back, and butt. After nearly dying, he says all he could think about was whether the baby might be his. Miss Brown insists she called his mother, not him, but Ms. Montoya pushes back hard. The tension here is razor sharp. You could cut it with a knife.
Does he have to die for the truth to come out?
What happened?
He's been shot.
And that's the lifestyle that I didn't want to let my daughter leave.
You was messing with him at the time of his
It
lifestyle.
don't matter. My kids was nowhere involved, unattended with this man.
Gregory says he's always thought the child looked like him, and he wanted to be in her life without even waiting for a test. His mom is nodding along fiercely. Miss Brown sits stiffly, giving almost nothing away. The emotional divide between wanting a relationship and doubting it's even possible is huge here.
Same difference. This is the picture that I seen on Facebook.
You saw this picture on Facebook?
Yeah, and I inboxed her because I wasn't getting no answers from my son.
With the other, like, daddy right there.
Enter Miss Montoya's timeline of lies. She explains how she bought a home DNA kit, waited 2 months for Ms. Brown to send it in, and then got results showing 0 probability Gregory was the father. But then, week 14, she hears Ms. Brown might have swabbed another one of her kids on purpose. Judge Lauren's eyebrows practically hit the ceiling.
Please explain to the court what happened then.
That's when I created this timeline of lies and I submitted it to the court, if I can show you.
Let's take a look at that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the timeline of lies is week 1. I purchased the DNA test.
Miss Brown admits she delayed sending the kit because she didn't want to know the truth. When pushed about the swab switch accusation, she says she only said that out of anger. Miss Montoya, though, isn't buying it, especially since her son got shot again after the fake test period. Drama overload.
That there was 0 probability of paternity.
0?
0.
But then what happens on week 14?
Week 14, I get told by my son that she said she lied.
Gregory accuses Ms. Brown of posting pictures online like he was the dad, which sparked fights with her ex. Miss Brown explains she didn't want her ex's family thinking the baby wasn't his. Translation, she was keeping both men guessing until she could see who the baby looked like. The courtroom air is thick with disbelief.
She was sending pictures pictures. Okay, I'm posting them on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. Like this is my baby. Like you like this. Like it's my baby. Like showing everybody. So she called me like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Finally, Judge Lauren reaches for the envelope. The tension is suffocating. Gregory leans forward. His mother stares straight ahead, and Ms. Brown braces herself. The results? Let's see who it's going to be. It's been one hell of a ride in this courtroom, and I'm sure everyone is dying to know who the real father of the child is.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Sensabaugh, you are not her father.
Miss Montoya says she's not crushed, just hoping her son will move on, marry, and have a child he can raise from birth. Gregory admits he feels relief knowing the truth. Judge Lauren even throws in some life advice about leaving dangerous environments behind. And with that, the courtroom battle is over, but not before delivering one of the most tension-packed paternity reveals ever.
It's not about being crushed. At the end of the day, I really want him to go on with his life, get married, have a baby, and be able to be in that baby's life from birth.
And I wish the best for him and his future.
The courtroom is tense from the start. Judge Lauren welcomes Ms. Johnson, Miss Davis, and Mr. Roger Johnson, a man who has raised these women for decades, but admits he's harbored doubts about being their biological father for 25 years. The twist? At their mother's funeral, another man stepped out of the shadows claiming he was their real dad. And if that's not enough, there's yet another man outside the courtroom who thinks Mr. Johnson might be his father too.
Ms. Johnson and Mrs. Davis, you are here in court today to finally find out if the defendant is your biological father. You both claim at your mother's funeral a different man approached you.
Miss Johnson recounts the jaw-dropping moment at the funeral. She hadn't seen her mother in 4 years when, out of nowhere, a man hugged her and called her his beautiful little girl. Confused, stunned, and trying to keep her composure, she thought she knew exactly who her father was, Mr. Johnson, sitting just feet away. But this man's bold claim planted a seed of doubt that's been growing ever since, forcing her to question everything she thought she knew about her family.
Ms. Johnson, explain to the court what happened at your mother's funeral.
Well, at the time, I haven't seen my mother in 4 years. I was at work, and that's how I found out that my mother had passed away.
Mr. Johnson admits he knew the man, a friend of the family, but insists he'd always believed himself to be the father, despite rumors. Miss Johnson reveals her late mother would constantly change her story, sometimes saying Mr. Johnson was her dad, other times hinting it could be someone else. That emotional whiplash kept her childhood in a fog of uncertainty, and for Mr. Johnson, the whispers about her mother's infidelity weren't just gossip. She outright told him she was seeing other men while he was hard at work.
Did you hear this?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And what was...
I told him, that these are my kids. Her father, supposed to be father.
The allegations grow heavier. Mr. Johnson recalls catching his wife in another man's apartment. Miss Davis adds her own childhood memory. Her mother driving to a car lot where a man worked, pointing at him and cryptically telling the man, "This is her." As a child, she didn't understand the weight of that moment, but as she grew older, the puzzle pieces began to click. Now, standing in court, she's beginning to see the picture clearly, and it's terrifying.
What did you hear specifically?
Actually, she actually told me.
She did?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did she say?
She would tell me, I'm unhappy.
Mr. Johnson produces a key piece of evidence, divorce papers. They reveal that the girl's mother willingly gave up all parental rights, leaving him to raise the children alone. Judge Lauren acknowledges the sacrifice. Despite his doubts, Mr. Johnson became both mom and dad. He taught them everything from personal hygiene to life lessons, even using his skills as a tattoo artist to create visual how-to guides for the girls. Miss Johnson tearfully nods, confirming he gave his all despite the uncertainty.
I have
Yes,
proof.
sir.
I have proof of,
You have evidence. Jerome, will you please hand me that evidence?
that's my divorce papers.
So this is a final judgment of divorce.
Yes, Your Honor.
It says the defendant...
But beneath the love, there's pain. Mr. Johnson reveals he sometimes had to pay the girl's mother just so they could see her. The idea shocks the court. He wasn't buying time for himself, but for them to have a mother-daughter connection. Miss Davis had been too young to realize the truth, but her brother saw it happen. This wasn't just a paternity question, it was a story of a father fighting for his children against odds most couldn't imagine.
How to be a young lady. how to take care of themselves. That was that was fun. But thank God, me being a tattoo artist, I know how to draw, so I was able to explain a lot of things and go on the computer.
When asked if he sees himself in the girls, Mr. Johnson admits Elizabeth favors him physically, but says Miss. Davis looks more like the man rumored to be her real father. Miss Davis recalls being introduced to a boy as her half-brother when she was just 6 or 7 years old, a moment that stuck with her. Mr. Johnson calls this the most vulnerable time in a child's life, believing those moments planted divisions in their family long before they even understood.
And so you would have to say to her, I'll give you money
Yes, Your Honor.
if you spend time with them.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh.
My daughters, they was too young to...
The next emotional bombshell walks in. Roger Johnson Jr., their brother. He confirms the doubts, saying Miss. Johnson looks like their father, but Ms. Davis doesn't. The words hang heavy in the air. Judge Lauren points out the pain this must cause. When one sibling seems different, it can fracture a family's sense of belonging. Mr. Johnson insists he never treated her differently, but admits others may have, leading Ms. Davis to distance herself from the family.
Trying to figure out different things, trying to see what path they're going to go down.
Yes.
That's the most vulnerable time of their life. Is
Oh,
when they're
yes,
born
it is.
Up to, they're 10 years old. So that's where they was attacking the most, is when the kids were most vulnerable.
I'm so sorry.
The estrangement runs deep. Mr. Johnson reveals Ms. Davis's own husband didn't know he was her father, believing instead he was just the man who raised her. That revelation felt like a knife in the heart. Worse yet, he wasn't invited to her wedding and didn't even know it happened. Miss Davis admits she was rebellious and confused, saying hurtful things she didn't truly mean. She's now ready to make amends, but the years of hurt have left scars.
I love her to pieces,
It's okay, sweetie.
but
But
here's some.
you don't see your father.
No, man.
And that hurts you to have to say.
Miss Davis asks for forgiveness, openly admitting she's denied her father in the past. Mr. Johnson doesn't hesitate. He forgives her, but he also points out the urgency of the truth. 2 of her children, his grandchildren, have medical issues. Without knowing his biological link, they could be missing crucial family health history. For him, the DNA results aren't just about closure. They could literally help save a life.
I was very confused still at that point of time.
Okay.
She was so confused, another man gave her away at her wedding. I wasn't even invited. I didn't even know she had got married.
Finally, the envelopes come out. The courtroom goes silent. First, Roger Johnson Jr. The test confirms Mr. Johnson is his biological father. Relief and validation sweep the room. Next, Elizabeth Johnson. Again, he is confirmed as her father. The tension builds for the last, most contested result.
Even though I want to know if I'm really her father, regardless if I am biological, I'm always going to be her father. She needs to know, and her children need to know, because with the medical problems they have, and if it takes going through this pain right now.
The final envelope is opened. For Melinda Davis, the woman who spent years feeling like an outsider, the one whose face sparked doubt, the answer is clear. Mr. Johnson is her biological father. The years of uncertainty crumble in a single sentence. Miss Johnson says the truth closes a painful chapter, and Ms. Davis is ready to move forward with no doubts.
Mr. Johnson Sr., you are her father.
Mr. Johnson apologizes for ever doubting them. Miss Johnson says she's grateful they found out while their last parent is still alive. Miss Davis hopes they can now build a closer bond. Judge Lauren beams, declaring this is why paternity court exists, to reconnect families. For once, everyone leaves the courtroom together, united not just by DNA, but by a renewed sense of family.
This closes a lot for us, even when our mother was not here.
I'm so very happy for all of you. This is why we do this every day, right, Jerome?
Mr. Wiseman thought letting his buddy crash at his place was just being a good friend. Instead, he's now in paternity court, claiming that buddy, Mr. New, thanked him by allegedly sleeping with his girlfriend, Ms. Duncan. And the drama? They're here to find out which of these 2 men fathered her 2-year-old son, Brett. This is about to get messy.
Mr. Wiseman, you say the defendant was a good friend of yours and you let him move into your home. You claim he repaid your generosity by sleeping with your girlfriend.
Right away, Mr. New insists their relationship started innocent, just friends, until Ms. Duncan told him Mr. Wiseman wasn't treating her right. I mean, can we get a scoreboard for how many times we were just friends has been said in this courtroom? Spoiler, it never ends well.
Mr. New, you claim when you first moved in, your relationship with Mr. Wiseman's girlfriend was strictly a friendship.
Yes.
You argue it only became sexual when she confided Mr. Wiseman was not treating her right.
Mr. Wiseman recounts how it all began. She'd already cheated on him with Mr. New's cousin. Then came those late-night friendly talks in the living room, and just like deja vu, history repeated itself. Talk about the friend zone turning into the danger zone.
Her name is Miss Duncan, and she will be joining us shortly from her hometown. Mr. Wiseman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please tell me about this paternity dispute.
Well, how it came in play was she cheated on me with his cousin.
When Judge Lauren asks how he found out, Mr. Wiseman drops it. A family member told him. That's how bad it was. Even her relatives were like, bruh, you need to know. That's family-level intervention right there.
You know, sugar-coated, whatever they did, and next thing you know.
Okay, so Mr. Wiseman.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you even find out Mr. New had slept with your girlfriend?
And here comes the awkward image. Mr. Wiseman says he'd walk in and find them all wet from playing with the water hose, hugged up, then watch her walk away from him like he was invisible. This is not a rom-com, this is betrayal with a splash zone.
You know, they was becoming too close of friends, and they finally told me, like, look, we know for a fact that they been doing stuff together.
Mr. New claps back, saying they were already broken up at that point because Mr. Wiseman cheated on her multiple times. Oh, the hypocrisy is thick here. If the shade gets any deeper, we're gonna need flashlights.
That was when me and her was already together.
No.
She was at her grandma's house. Lie again.
Well, she likes playing.
She was at her
Hey.
grandma's house because they was already broke up because he cheated on her so many times and she was letting it go.
Tension skyrockets when Judge Lauren has to tell Jerome to physically stand between them. At this point, I'm wondering if we're gonna get DNA results or a boxing match.
She gonna go to the next man.
I'll let her do what she wants.
Yeah,
she don't nobody but me.
Okay, hold on. Mr. New, you gotta watch your language in this court. Jerome, please stand in between them.
When asked how their romance actually started, Mr. New says he can't even explain it without cursing. Sir, if your love story requires censorship, that's probably a red flag right there.
You're gonna have to get it together or you're gonna have to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So you make the choice.
What happened, Your Honor?
When you talk, say it respectfully.
I will.
Keep cursing and you'll be gone.
And then, bombshell, Miss. Duncan joins in remotely. She admits she did in fact sleep with Mr. New while still in a rocky relationship with Mr. Wiseman. Honesty at last, but with that calm tone, like she's just confessing to eating the last slice of pizza.
I mean, she's always been a cheater.
All right, I think it's time we hear from her. Joining us from her hometown.
She explains that she confided in Mr. New because of problems with Mr. Wiseman. And yes, Brett was conceived during that time. Folks, this is basically the Maury Show, but with more order in the court.
Thank you so much for joining us. We understand you could not be here today per your doctor's orders because you are pregnant, and we understand. And
Mr. Wiseman throws another twist, claiming Ms. Duncan told him Brett was his child at birth. Meanwhile, Mr. New swears they were already together when the baby arrived. Two completely different realities, same baby.
Invited in at the time, and Brett, me and Tyler did sleep together at the time that Brett had been conceived.
Miss Duncan admits she told both men at different points that Brett might be theirs. Ma'am, this is not how you run a paternity lottery. No wonder Judge Lauren is giving her the side eye through the monitor.
did you sleep with both men during the period of conception?
Yes, I did.
And you did not use protection with either man?
No.
The DNA test envelope makes its grand entrance, and you can feel the air thicken. Judge Lauren opens it, and even she can't believe what she sees. It's almost as if no one was expecting what the results revealed, ready to kill the suspense. Well, here are the results.
It has been determined that the biological father is Mr. Wiseman.
Mr. New's head drops in disappointment, while Ms. Duncan nods slowly, like the truth finally clicked into place. And somewhere in the background, you can almost hear the ghost of Jerry Springer whisper, "Take care of that baby."
Testified that she slept with both of you during the window of conception, and there's a question as it relates to the paternity and any child that doesn't know certain who their father is.
Judge Lauren sets the stakes. Miss Kavanaugh and her mother are here to establish paternity for 3-week-old Malcolm. Mr. Bowles hasn't met the baby, but insists he's not the father, while the court notes Ms. Kavanaugh was also intimate with Mr. McElliott during the conception window.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Kavanaugh, you and your mother are appearing in court today to prove paternity of your 3-week-old son, Malcolm. You claim his biological father is Mr. Bowles.
Bowles claims they had sex within 20 minutes of meeting, and later says he found an open condom wrapper at her place. She pushes back, says that wrapper wasn't hers, and accuses him of reaching for excuses.
Actually, when we first met the first night, we had sex within like 20 minutes of being in her house.
It wasn't within 20 minutes.
And then, like, probably 3 weeks later, maybe 2 weeks later, I found like an open condom wrapper in her bathroom.
Kavanaugh explains she told Bowles first when she learned she was pregnant, but admits to a one-time encounter with McElliott done to make Bowles jealous, an immature decision she now regrets.
All right, so now you find out you're pregnant.
Yes.
When you find out, who do you tell?
Your Honor, I told him. I told Mr. Bowles because that's who I believed was the father. It was the right.
Bowles says she lied about being pregnant weeks earlier. She then confesses she tried to fake a test by combining lines, only to return from getting food and find both tests actually positive. The courtroom gasps.
And also, before she got pregnant, she actually lied about being pregnant maybe like some weeks before. She lied about it.
That is true. The way that I found out that I was truly pregnant with my son is because I was very childish when I was talking to Mr. Bowles.
Bowles admits he wasn't excited at first and didn't believe her. Later, he began to think she'd been with others. He recalls a day at the DMV when she texted she was with another man.
Actually, at first I didn't believe her.
Okay.
And I did start to believe her. I wouldn't say I was excited. I was still being around.
Yes,
I knew that she was with other guys. And actually, I think it's more than...
Kavanaugh says early in the pregnancy, Bowles woke her at 3 a.m. to announce he was going to have sex with someone else. He fires back that they weren't together. She chased him out. That was the last time they spoke before court.
Acting like he was the father, but when I told him I wanted to be in a committed relationship, I said I don't want to have sex until we are in a committed relationship. I was just tired of it. I was done. I didn't want him to disrespect me anymore. I could be carrying your child and you just disrespect me.
Pressed by the judge, Kavanaugh admits she still has feelings for Bowles but wants the truth for her son. She says McElliott even offered to sign the birth certificate without a DNA test. The judge brings McElliott in.
I do still kind of have feelings for Mr. Bowles, and I don't really know why. With Mr. McElliott, he actually told me he didn't want to do a DNA test, and he would actually sign the birth certificate and didn't care if he was the father and wanted to be with me.
McElliott says he learned of the pregnancy via ultrasound. Kavanaugh even said the image resembled his mother. The judge notes she spoke of the baby as if he could be McElliott's, and he agrees it's possible.
She sent me a picture of an ultrasound. I also have that with me.
You do? Let me
Yes.
see that, please. Thank you. Oh.
I looked at the ultrasound. She told me that the ultrasound actually resembled my mother.
Looks get debated. Kavanaugh leans Bowles. Bowles says he doesn't see it. The judge pivots to a key point. Didn't McElliott agree to sign the birth certificate?
So, as you look at Malcolm, who do you think he looks like?
I want to say Mr. Bowles, but you can't always go on looks. But I just have a feeling. I would, honestly, Your Honor.
McElliott confirms he offered to sign to end the stress, but admits the uncertainty was real. He also hasn't met Malcolm yet.
The stress was starting to get on me a little heavy, and I was certain that it was getting on her probably more. So I had came up with an ultimatum that I would sign the birth certificate, I would be the father of the child, and we would just scratch the DNA test and everything. I'll just pick up.
Then the twist, a possible third man. Kavanaugh says it was a drunken one-night stand, and when asked, can't confirm protection was used.
That's true, Your Honor.
Oh, nah, it's true.
That's true, Your
A
Honor.
third party?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please elaborate on the third party.
It was a very drunken night, and it was a one-night stand.
Do you remember?
Judge Lauren delivers the biology lesson. Women bear the certainty while potential fathers orbit in limbo. Sleeping with multiple partners in the window creates chaos for everyone, especially the child.
This is the difference. This is the difference. And I want you to understand that. Because a lot of women feel like they want to compete with a man, and these men are running all over the place. And it's wrong. It's wrong all day long.
After Kavanaugh's mom pushes for an apology, the judge reframes the moment. Self-respect, wise choices, and never trying to keep a man by having a baby. Hard truths, plainly spoken.
I just heard my daughter take responsibility. I believe that he should apologize.
He hasn't just been, look, I haven't been there through the pregnancy, but Ms. Kavanaugh, what your daughter learned was a very valuable lesson. A, pick and choose very wisely.
Results time. Phew. We all can agree that this case has been filled with nothing but roller coasters and crazy truth bombs. Let's get to the bottom of it all, shall we? Here are the results.
Is the father of 3-week-old Malcolm Kavanaugh. Mr. McElliott, you are not his father.